Hey, we're back here in the WCOBM studio. I'm Christina McKellar with the Mentalist, Gerry McCambridge. And I'm really impressed that you wrote a book, even though you have a little bit of ADD and are not a reader. But
a little bit?
Well, okay, a lot.
I've never read a book.
Oh.
And I wrote a
such
450-page book.
That's amazing. I love it. I think that is a feat in and of itself. And I'm going to have to get a copy of this, and I want you to sign it.
That's yours, sweetheart.
Oh, goody. Then I'll read it
Goody?
for you. Yes.
Did you say goody?
Goody.
The 70s called. They want their expression back. Goody?
Well, I could have said groovy or bitchin'.
Then it would have been even worse.
I'm a 70s kind of girl at heart, really. So I do want to mention, because on the break I did ask Gerry, I said, I know what gave me away, because I've read books about stuff like that. And I could see when I was talking to you, I could feel my eye twitch.
Without you even knowing it.
Without me even knowing it, I felt like my eyes were twitching.
Take it back, turn around, put another color face up. Let's do it again.
Okay, let me make sure the lid's shut.
Okay, is the lid shut?
Yes, it's all shut.
Turn away from me.
Okay.
Tell me when you turned away.
I'm away.
Now, here's what we're going to do. You're going to say the colors. I'm not looking at you. I can't see your eyes. I'm going to tell you what they are, and then you're going to repeat them back to me after I tell. So use your brain here, okay?
Okay, sure.
Black, white, red, blue, green, yellow. Say them back to me.
Black, white, red, blue, green, and yellow.
So I couldn't have seen your eye twitch or your mouth drool or anything like that, correct?
Exactly.
So now it's just an auditory thing. As I told you, I use many different skills. If I'm not using the facial muscle reading, maybe I'm working with what I'm hearing. I'm going to turn around and face you, but before I even look back at you, I think it's the white. Turn back around.
Oh,
what did you get this time?
Okay.
Oh, there's the white.
I
yes.
sit here completely stunned and amazed.
That's my job.
I would be so afraid to be one of your kids when you were grown up. And I was going to ask you, too, when you were dating, and when you're dating.
I still date.
He still dates. Well, are women a little intimidated thinking they're going out with a man who can read their mind?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, it's if I'm interested in a woman I want to go out on a date or take her out to dinner or something, I let them know pretty much up front that there's two different people. That there's the mentalist and then there's Gerry.
Okay.
If you're around my kids, they know Dad, they know Gerry, they know the goofball. Like, they're not intimidated at all. They don't think anything about it.
Right.
So the first thing I want to do is to put somebody at ease and go, look, okay, the show's over. Mm-hmm. Now I'm me. If I was an accountant, I wouldn't be sitting on this date doing your taxes.
Yeah, there's that. True.
It's
good analogy
that's
there.
my job. I do it. Now, whether I use it on the date is something I won't admit to, but I put them at ease by saying, show's
I'm leaving
over.
I'm leaving
Show's
business
over.
out of it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I bet if you were backed into a corner with somebody, you could just find your way out real easy with a woman who's
Yes.
trying to play some scam on you or something, or emotional.
Now, there are times, every once in a while, I've been divorced for years. I'll go on one of those internet dating sites. I've done the dating sites. I was on that show Millionaire Matchmaker, and so it's funny because sometimes when I go on the dating sites, I'll meet somebody and you look at their profile picture and you go, oh, she's kind of cute. Well, I'd love to go out on a date. And I never go out on a date for the first time. First time is always a Starbucks.
Of course.
Because within under a minute, under 3 minutes, I know if this has any legs or not. And usually they come in, and first off, they never look like their profile picture, or it's, the profile
this
picture
happens
is
to men too.
10 years old, or it was like 40 pounds lighter, or whatever it is.
Exactly, yeah.
But if they walk in and they do look like their profile picture, it takes maybe a minute or two for me to talk to them and know. And if you were like a fly on the wall, you can tell by the size order of drink that I get if I'm interested. Because if I get the small coffee, I want it to be over and done with quick. I want to get out of here. I know this isn't going to happen.
Right. So you're sending your own body language, and it's just if they can't pick it up. I mean, I think
I know
that's
what I want to
something-
sense. I know what I'm
Right.
looking for in a person.
Right.
I've dated enough that I know the red flags, and to me, they stick out a lot quicker than to the average person.
Oh, that's
so
a
in that
great
case,
skill
I
to
do
have.
use my skills.
Now, a woman would call that women's intuition, because I could relate stories to you when I tried the internet dating thing, but I could tell within a few minutes.
Right.
where it was going, or just by the approach. And like you said, all the phony pictures and you're going to die laughing over this, but as a writer, one thing, if a guy couldn't spell on the site, it was like, oh, well, forget it. I really have nothing to say to him. But you've proven that wrong.
Right.
Because you're very articulate, very intelligent. You would have thought you'd read a whole library, not have never read a book. No. So you're like a sponge. You just absorb everything.
Yes.
And I guess that, too, translates into your skill. Have you ever been baffled or buffaloed yourself, though, while you were in the environment? Have you ever had someone in the audience who was in a plant or something call your bluff on a trick?
No. I've been baffled or buffaloed. Not that I've ever heard that expression before.
It's 70s.
Buffaloed.
It's 70s.
I love to go to magic shows. Unfortunately, I'm in the know. So you'll go to a magic show and you will be 100% buffaloed, where I'll be like 5%, where I look at it and go, oh, that's a nice variation of that method or that, so I love to be entertained, One of my friends here in town is David Copperfield. He puts new stuff in the show, and I'll go see the show and he'll go, give me your notes, tell me what you think of it, because I'm looking at it from a different way.
Yeah.
But I love to sit there and go, oh, he fooled me. He made me feel like a kid again. I love that. But as far as the audience members doing it, no way. I worked comedy clubs for years. Somebody gets out of line, I can straighten them out rather quickly. And most of the time they come in and the men feel all, I can figure this out, honey, don't worry. And the first routine that I do is I say, if you're a male and you're a skeptic, stand up. And I use the skeptics. So after the first routine, now they're all sitting there going, oh my God, okay, I give in. You do your thing. So I pretty much diffuse the bomb before it's even lit.
I think that's amazing, and I still think I can't help but kind of toy in my head, because women are a little bit more romantically inclined, or that there's got to be some type of innate, not psychic, but intuitiveness. I mean,
what
does the
do
word
you consider intuition or
well,
or
that
intuitive?
you are that tuned into people, even though, like you're saying, it's a skill, but you've got to have some type of empathy, or, like, I don't know, zoning in onto a person's.
The older
Do I
you
dare
are,
use the word aura? No, that doesn't apply.
aura is the colors around you.
Right.
If you're emanating heat or energy or whatever, that's the colors around you. So somebody reads your aura, they go, well, I see a little yellow, kind of green, and that's totally
But it was
different.
blue and white.
But that's not aura. That's just
No, I
a trick.
know.
But the older you are, the more intuitive you become because of knowledge.
Right.
You're taking your five senses and it's creating this sixth sense.
That's where I was going.
You know by looking at somebody, your brain is going, every time I see a person that looks like that, they usually wind up being like this. So you just intuitively know. It's almost like intuitively profiling somebody.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
see that in a person, and it usually winds up being this outcome. Or I see that, winds up being this outcome. So you don't think about it, your brain just knows it.
Absolutely.
So you live your life being intuitive as a person who has learned this stuff. I lived my life by studying that and enhancing the heck out of it.
Right.
So I really know what to look for on a hyper level, on a sensitive level.
And you really enjoy entertaining. And again, I mean, you're putting forth so much energy. I would think that you're drawing it back out of the audience when they're laughing and just going, wow. And that's got to be quite a feeling. To know that
It's what I live for. It's funny because I remember a few years ago I was on tour with Barry Manilow. I was his
Nice.
opening act. And one of the tours that we did was in stadiums. And there'd be like 10,000 people
And
out
they're
there.
way far away.
And my assistant, I had two assistants at the time. One of them happened to be my son. And I remember him going, Dad, are you nervous? I said, no. Like the electricity that goes through me is like undescribable.
You're a conduit.
It's
I noticed that as you know, we have so many great performers in town. We have a lot of talent here in Las Vegas. I mean, they're all over the world, but everybody at some point comes to Vegas. Isn't that the
Entertainment
truth?
capital of the world.
Yes, and hopefully, sometimes it's because they want to go on the cruise things, or it's just a good cachet to have on your resume. But and I'm sure all of you guys get along well together. But
there are enough tourists. There's 40 million tourists a year
yeah,
here.
you can spread that out a little bit.
If I filled my room every night, 365 days a year, I don't even crack that number.
Right.
So there's enough entertainers. The only thing that I don't like is bad entertainers, because then they spoil it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
If you put a bad mentalist here in town, which we had a few years ago, it made my show look bad.
Oh, we never want to hear that.
There's another show in town, another Mentalist. He's a friend of mine. You see him, you love it, then you come to mine. Let's
I
stop
like
for a
that.
break.
Okay, we'll take a break. A salute to the Red Roof Inn. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I can actually put thoughts into your heads and take out your deepest, your darkest, your dirtiest thoughts.
One of the best shows I've seen.
How many of you have ever had your mind screwed with before?
Funny and entertaining, the whole thing.
Welcome to Vegas, y'all.
Hey, that show was fantastic. It's by far the best show that we've seen since we've been here.